Step into video game land. Welcome to Fine Time.
Hello, party people. It's your boy, Dre, and I am also here with my boy, Steve.
Podcast time again.
See, okay, Kevin, I remember a couple big deals ago, you were upset that I didn't say my boy Kevin, but Steve does something like that, and then I have to ask you incredulously about that. Why did he make our volumes peak already? He is stressing my compressor.
Yeah, I think that he's got a complex at this point, and he wants to be your only boy. So maybe he's fucking with us because he doesn't want you to call me your boy as well. He's like, no, I'm Andre's boy. Fuck off, Kevin. Is
totally
probably what's going on a little bit. But
Steve, how do you respond to these allegations?
Steve has a more heartfelt response to these sort of things later. Foreshadowing for later in the episode.
He loves to tease the audience, Kevin. Sometimes I get very mad at him for it, and he's just like, will you just tell the people? You can't do that to the folks, and he just does it. I don't
think he's foreshadowing shit. He's just hoping we forget about it because he's still just trying to be your boy. It's horse shit.
I believe so. Like when he doesn't want to talk about something, he's like, anyway, and he goes on with his shit. And I'm like, he's ignoring me, Kevin, isn't he? And he just trucks right through.
When it boils down to it, I'm being minimized from being anybody's boy, and I don't like it.
Okay, you know what? Next big deal, I should start with you, huh? So you can finally be my boy, and then Steve can.
Yeah, it might. I don't know. I don't want to hurt his feelings either, though.
Yeah. I'm so glad he can't hear us right now.
That's because I don't have feelings, so it's fine.
Wow! See what you did? Damn. Okay. Forget. Okay,
get in the goddamn soundproof booth for a minute, Steve, because we need to talk about this.
I don't have the sound imaging for the soundproof booth right now. Okay, we can't do that.
Not usable.
Okay, well, I guess we can talk video games. We do like to do that. My life's been a mess. It is getting together. Finally, I went through a move. Everyone knows how stressful that is, but I'm all settled in for the most part, and I can get back to playing video games soon. But yeah, so this cycle, I don't have anything to play, but you guys played some very interesting stuff that you have a lot to say about. So, Kevin, let's start with you because I know you played Crimson Desert.
I did, and you're gonna boy, do I ever have a lot to say. So strap the fuck in, because we're gonna be here for a little while.
Buckle up, strap in, strap it on.
Yeah,
wait, what?
Get ready, bend over. It's coming.
Okay.
It's that kind of game.
It's that kind of game. I was thinking about this the other day. I really do. I think that as far as like things to talk about, this is the most interesting game that I've brought to now playing in the history of Fine Time, because there's fucking so much going on here.
Can I just say before you get started, like I've seen some footage of this. I've seen some people play it on like Twitch for a little bit and stuff. Just curious, and it seems like a beautiful mess. To me, without having actually put my hands on it, it seems like equal parts cool and have these people ever played a video game before?
Yeah, I mean that's absolutely it. There's there's some incredibly great and redeeming things about this game, but it's super fucking weird. It's got some major downfalls, and it's like very disjointed by nature, I think. I want to be upfront. I do like this game, and I've quite enjoyed my time with it. But I think it's important to know that's like very in spite of the game, because so much of what's been interesting about this to me is like more from this game as an example of a video game, not like what the game itself has done intentionally, if that makes sense. You know, it's interesting kind of considering the design decisions, the lack of design decisions, you know, trying to understand like what was the development for this game. Even seeing the patches, they have like major patches with substantial changes coming out multiple times a week since this has come out. It's insane, and I've never seen anything like it. This isn't like hot fixes, because they are also doing that in between major patches, right? You turn it on one day, we're on like 1.2, and like all of your shaders need to reinstall, and like, you know, it's like the game is fucking resetting itself, and then the next day, okay, that patch from yesterday had some shit, and so we've got some minor tweaks for that, and then 2 days later we're on 1.3. Like it's nuts.
Wow.
How they're and like not only fixing things, but like adding big features. It's fucking weird.
What the hell?
So it's interesting. Before I get into the game itself, I think I want to talk a bit about how I'm playing this, and just kind of like my experience with that, because there's a lot that goes into that too. I did recently upgrade my desktop, so it's got a 4060, and I put an extra 16 gigs of an extra 16 gigs of RAM into it, so now it's got 32 gigs of DDR4. So this is not a top of the line machine. But you know, it can competently now run something modern like this. And I thought this was a great game to test it out on, because this game is very, you know, this game is on Xbox, this game is on PlayStation, but you can tell it is a very like PC centric game. So, you know, this was a cool place to test that out.
Yeah, and when he got this 4060, folks, I kept like sending Kevin deals like, "Hey, Division 2 is $3. How about try that?" You know, I'm trying to get him to try
$3. That's highway robbery.
Yeah, from Ubisoft, not from us, but yeah. So I'm glad you finally found a PC game, relatively recent one that's not from 2019.
Yeah, I know, because that's my thing. Like, I've had this PC with a much lower end graphics card, but still, you know, I'm always like, it's fine, because if I sit down to use the PC, my go-to is like, let's play Roller Coaster Tycoon. Let's play Diablo 2 for a little bit. Let's turn on SimCity 3000. Like that's kind of where I go. So I mean, I'm trying to change that.
Games.
To be fair, SimCity 3000 still needs all the help it can get.
Oh, do not start
Please.
slandering SimCity 3000. We're going to be here long enough, and
That's
we're going
the best
to. It
SimCity.
is.
It is. I get it, but I mean, it is, but it still chugs on a lot of computers.
It does. Well, remember me and Kevin, we found out we had the same like computer in the late 90s, early 2000s. SimCity 3000 was a bit of a struggle on that thing. It ran, but like, you know, it was kind of hairy sometimes.
Oh, makes me all warm and fuzzy to think about.
Think about that compact Bessario.
Yeah. So not only am I playing this on PC, I recently set up my computer with Moonlight streaming. So my computer is in the basement in the game room, and I'm playing this upstairs on the TV. I've fucked around with streaming stuff before in various forms, you know, like PlayStation and Xbox Remote Play, Steam Link, and obviously cloud stuff, which the cloud stuff never feels good. Even like the PlayStation, Xbox, Steam Link, I always feels just like a little bit shitty. It's streamed over the local network from a device in the house, and they're absolutely playable. And I've spent some time dicking around with that stuff, but I can never like quite shake that feeling that, you know, yeah, I can play this on the Retroid or on my phone with the little clamp controller in bed or while I'm pooping or whatever, and that's great. But I always like, I can tell I'm playing these remotely, and it's hard to shake that. I am telling you guys, the Moonlight thing is fucking it. I cannot tell that I am not sitting on the computer playing.
Wow.
It's it's like a night and day difference from doing like PlayStation Remote Play on my phone.
Okay.
And
interesting.
And it is more involved to set up and configure than like a plug and play service. But this was kind of eye opening for me because this does open up playing PC as a viable way to play things, because I don't want to sit at my desk. I am at this desk for work, like, 90% of the time while I work. I don't want to sit here and play video games, really. So this kind of opens up PC as a lot more appealing for me.
As an aside, I was thinking about if you guys remember, Vita could do like the PS4 remote play thing. You remember that shit on your home network? So any other Wi-Fi you're on, you could try. So I try it at work sometimes, try to do PS4 stuff from the Vita. That was shit from a butt. That was so bad. I mean, it worked. I mean, it was 2012. It was novel, but we came a long way, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I actually bought, because I really, they made a big deal like that was going to be, really, really good. I bought a PlayStation TV, the little like home Vita thing, just so I was like, I'm going to play my PS4 in the bedroom. And it fucking sucked. It was super annoying. And I was unhappy with it.
It was bad. It was bad when you sit at home, let alone if you try to, you're just chilling at Starbucks and it's like, oh, let me try playing something. Nah, you can't do that.
No good. Moonlight, just as a side note, it's worth setting up for more than gaming. So I'm also like, I have this set up on my tablet as well with a little like, keyboard case and a Bluetooth mouse. And I can use, just over Wi-Fi, I can use my computer in the basement on there. And again, no perceptible lag. I don't feel like the mouse is trailing behind where I'm moving it. Nothing. So just doing like general PC shit, also useful for that.
Okay. This sounds like the real deal then.
Yeah, it's cool. Get into the weeds a little bit. Usually, so you have to download a client on your PC to use this, and the default is Sunshine. That's kind of like Sunshine and Moonlight work together. And I spent probably 5 fucking hours trying to get this to work, and I wound up nuking Sunshine from the computer and downloading a fork of it. It's called Apollo, because all of the problems I was having is because I have 2 monitors on my desktop. They're just 1080 monitors. And I want to stream in, it will stream in 4K, but I'm just streaming in 1440 to one screen. And it worked. Again, there's some like dicking around and figuring out the settings, but with Apollo, when I turn on my TV and I just like launch the app on the TV, it turns my monitors off. It sets my desktop to display one monitor, not like have like a hidden monitor to the side that I can't see. In 1440, when I tell it to shut off, both my monitors pop back up in 1080. Nothing is fucky, and it just like seamlessly works. And that was really important because I spent hours and hours and was like downloading this like this like fucking weird ass software to try and like make like a third monitor on my computer that was like only and then like different software to be like, okay, when this happens, like set all your Windows configurations to this one thing. It was a fucking mess.
Oh man, that sounds so you're considering
annoying. It sucked. And I like dicking around with that stuff to a degree. It was horrible. So if you're interested in this, but you want to go from like multiple monitors or even to a different resolution on what you're playing on, I would start with Apollo, not Sunshine. The only thing I have not got to work, and good fucking Lord, I have tried, is HDR. I have like really tried, but so we're going between settings on Windows, settings on the TV, settings in Apollo, settings in Moonlight, and then settings in the game. And something is just, and I mean, of course, Crimson Desert at the time when I'm really fucking with this, it's like, oh yeah, people are saying there's bugs with the HDR implementation. I think in general, what I have learned is like Windows implementation of HDR is not the same as just like using HDR on your console, which is surprising. But I have not got it to work. I have the rest of the experience is solid and it does still bother me, but I have just decided to live with it and move on with my life a little bit.
That kind of sucks. I mean, HDR is pretty important to me, and especially in a game that looks like this and what it's doing with like real time cycles of stuff. It's like HDR would be very nice, but
Yeah, well, and I mean, and I'm going to get into the actual game, not just a bunch of fucking setup bullshit soon. The game has like there's so many like weird things with the lighting that have been like getting fucking adjusted through all of these large patches. But and it's not nearly as bad now, but I was finding, especially when it was nighttime outdoors, really hard to see stuff, and I was like really losing like visual fidelity in like the grass and outdoor textures at night. So I was really incentivized, like, if I can get the HDR to work, I'm hoping that's going to make that stuff easier to see and clean it up a little bit. But it did not happen for me, which, yeah, it's, I always, when I think about HDR, I think about, like, I think HDR is underrated as far as the quality that it brings to like the visual experience on modern consoles.
I agree.
So I didn't, yeah, I really tried, I guess, is the bottom line. But
yeah, it's that. Well, that's kind of also the problem with like stuff like RTGI, because like they're really trying to, like, when you do that shit, quote unquote, by hand for like a day night cycle, you can kind of be like, oh, you can, we can illuminate this or that, or like, think about something like Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild, right? They are doing this like very crafted, like, this is how it looks like at night. If you're just leaving it up to the engine, it's tougher because it just wants to make it very realistically. This is how it would look in a forest if it were at nighttime, but that's not good for a video game, right? So it's like,
exactly.
You have to like figure that shit out.
Yeah. And again, the patches on the game have significantly helped. For a while, quite often, I would be like, fuck, it's getting to night. I need to just go wait until day, like, like past the time in game.
It really got that bad. Okay.
Yeah, it was not it was not great.
Wow.
All right. I will talk about Crimson Desert as a video game. So I'm going to start.
There's a video game in there.
There is a video game in here.
We are out of time for today. Thank you for joining us on Fine Time.
This hasn't only been me fucking around with my computer settings. I want to start with like controls and movement.
Yes, please, because this is the thing I heard the most about.
This was a hot button topic for this game, especially the controls. Every review talks about how complex and confusing the control scheme is. And I mean, it was a thing, right? There's a lot of posts and there was a lot of fucking memes. I think it is overblown. Now, I am not saying that control scheme is not extremely complex, because it is. But I felt like it was like almost made out to be this deal breaker thing when getting talked about in reviews. And I probably had like 5 hours where I struggled just with getting my head wrapped around, how does this game want you to play it? There's multiple like button combinations that you should remember. Here's a good example. Fairly early in the game, you kind of get let loose to go and check out your surrounding environment and the open world. And you meet this couple and they're bickering and their chimney is on fire and the wife is fucking pissed at the husband. And they give you a broom and they want you to go on the roof and sweep the chimney out. This should be like semi-manageable, right? I had probably 3 to 4 Google searches going on to figure out how to complete getting the broom out, getting it equipped, how to fucking like get it to the chimney and interact with the chimney.
Oh, Lord.
And it's a thing.
Doing.
So,
yeah.
I mean, this is very not like a plug and play experience based on that.
My thing is always like, I'm okay with difficult controls or unusual controls. I know this is kind of a weird and obscure example, but like, I always go back to like product number 3, PN03 on GameCube, because like that game controls kind of fucky, right? On purpose, but you master that and then you feel like a badass. It's like, okay, I have to do these weird like up, down, left, right codes to do like this one special move, and you have to remember that. But once you get the hang of it, it's like, okay, I understand why the game controls this way. It's rewarding on the back end. This doesn't necessarily feel rewarding on the back end. This just feels like you're learning how to do something really complicated to do something very simple. Am I overgeneralizing or
no? And I mean that element is there too. There are like numerous button combinations. The move set and shit you can unlock is very expansive, and I'm not using a significant portion of that stuff because I just don't have memory. You know, I've figured out like certain things I like to do. And so I've memorized how to do those. The game is there's like a whole like fucking WWE style wrestling type moveset in here that you can use.
I remember when I saw
cool.
that. I saw that in the trailer, and some dude like body slammed. I was like, "What the fuck is this? Is that a joke?
Yeah.
Like you can actually do that?"
Oh, and I mean, it's not just like limited to that. There's like this is the fucking combination to suplex, and this is how you fucking swing these guys and whatever.
That's so weird.
So that was something that I was like, oh, this is really fucking cool. And so I've learned some of that stuff, but there are like 5 other things that I've unlocked that I'm just like, well, I don't, you don't need to use any of this shit. And so like what I'm interested in, I've figured out how to do. So there is that like complex, like button combination type thing, but then there's also just an obtuseness to how to control it in general. And I think it points at a larger issue because this isn't the first time I'll say it. I think that there was a real lack of like broad direction with the game. I think that the scope creep here was like unbelievable. There were like numerous teams doing their own thing, and then it all kind of got put together in this like large patchwork of things. And I think that's kind of why it's sweeping the chimney amongst like many other things. Like, that's a control thing, but it's not always control things. There's like numerous problems with the game, but I think in general, that's most of the lack of a cohesive direction is what has kind of caused a lot of that.
It sometimes looks like feature creep, the video game, right? Because it's just kind of like, here is a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Very much is. Yeah. And it just doesn't like, it very much does not like all intertwine elegantly.
I guess I'm just like hung up on the fact that it's like we're making this medieval open world adventure. Who in the boardroom said let's add wrestling moves? Like I just that's just I can't get over that, I guess, in my head, Steve.
I mean, I feel like the director was just a yes man. They're like, yeah, that's cool. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's like
well, sometimes you gotta put all your stuff down button by button and hug a guy for a real long time,
and then slam him to the mat or the can you throw dudes off a cliff or something?
Oh, you can like 100% grab them, lift them up, and like throw them into each other. You can fucking throw the like a fairly reasonable distance. It's there.
So fucking wild.
So yeah, again, it's a thing, but I also think it's worth pointing out, that learning curve is there, but things like, you move your character and control your camera and swing your weapon like how you would expect in a normal game. It's not like this is like entirely reinventing the wheel. It's just like extremely overcomplicating the like nuance of the wheel, perhaps.
Okay.
I cannot help but bitching though, and this is probably fucking stupid, but I am over 40 hours into this game, and in the menus, I am still like, because how usually you will like tab between like pages and then like, you'd use L1 or L2 to go between one section. And then you have like your sub pages that you can, the fucking bumpers and the triggers need the option to be switched, because I swear to God, over 40 hours, I am still hitting the fucking triggers when I should be hitting the bumpers and vice versa to go in between the menus. And it's so like everything about the way they have it set up is counterintuitive. Like the order they're in, it fucking drives me nuts.
I'm going to ask a stupid question. Kevin, you're playing on PC. You can't switch that? PC is like the bastion of, just have whatever controls you want. What's developer intent mean anyway?
You would think so, because there are 100 million billion fucking settings that I have no idea what they do, and I don't fuck with them, but I have looked multiple times, okay, there's a patch. Maybe they finally swapped around the fucking bumpers and triggers in the menu, but no, you cannot change it.
You know
pisses
what's
me off.
wild is that they designed this feels like the bad old days of PC ports where they port something to the console and it's like the console controls don't make any fucking sense because they're PC people and they have no idea this works. They allegedly made like thought of this game with controller in mind. So it really doesn't make any sense that it controls this way then.
And I believe, I think I didn't just read this somewhere. I'm sure when you first turn on the game, they say like playing on PC, we suggest you use a controller for this game. They suggest not to play it with mouse and keyboard. Wow. So, fucking like it's just there's so many of these like little stupid things that really add up.
This is crazy, man.
Movement in combat, because that was something that kind of got pointed out in reviews too, and I wouldn't call it sluggish, but there is so much momentum behind everything, and you notice right off the bat the emphasis on very, very elaborate animations in this game, and so that's all over the combat as well. And it's hard to find something to even compare this to. I want to say it's somewhat similar to like the movement in Red Dead Redemption 2, right? Where you feel heavy, you are running, you stop running, and your character still needs to like take a couple steps to like kill that momentum. But you're also like, Red Dead 2, you are stopping to aim and shoot a gun most of the time. Right here, you're doing light and heavy sword attacks. You're using like multiple magic skills. You're shooting a bow. You're doing your fucking WWE moves. So that like that feeling of like heavy movement and inertia really adds another element to that. And I do think like once you wrap your head around it, it feels pretty good for the most part because nothing in this game is too challenging. Like there's a big emphasis on significant amounts of enemies, right? And you can come up against literally 50 enemies and it's not like oh fuck, I'm gonna get overwhelmed, this is a problem, until you get to the fucking bosses. Again, at the risk of sounding dumb, I kind of wish this game did not have bosses. I am having so much fun exploring and finding stuff and looking at the super pretty scenery. And I like going in and fucking up these like massive mobs of enemies and working my way through these areas with these huge groups. And it's almost kind of mindless because those enemies are easy. But then when I get to a boss, I know I'm in for like, 20 to 45 minutes of just fucking around, trying to get through it. Whoa. And the bosses are hard. And it's not like just the bosses are hard. But again, the like lack of like real like fine design in this game is a problem with the bosses. And they're really hard to read, right? I said, there's these big elaborate animations, and this might be more of a me problem because I feel in general I do have a hard time like reading moves to like react to in games. But it's hard for me to tell when I'm going to be attacked, when I should parry or when I should dodge. And they hit hard, right? Like there are some bosses you get hit, a couple times, you're fucking done. But what this has turned into is if I know I'm getting to a boss, I need to, fucking leave the area, find a whole bunch of resources, cook a whole bunch of food to endlessly consume because that's how you fucking get your health back. You just tap right on the D-pad and you eat whatever food is in your fucking current slot and you get some health back. And, these bosses have like 3 gradually more difficult phases most of the time, at least 2. And so it kind of just brings the fun to like this radical halt until I get past the bosses. They recently added difficulty settings, I think, in the last major patch. And I'm just like, I am a grown man and I fucking do a video game podcast. I do not need to put my games on easy. But like, I'm kind of thinking about like, get to a boss and just put it on easy to get through it and fucking go on with my life in this case.
You know what, man? Sometimes you just need to like, I don't do it very often either, but sometimes it's just like, man, I don't like, okay, I'll give you an example. Xenoblade Definitive Edition. I got like 75, 80 hours through that game, and I knew I had probably had another 20 to go, and I was in this area that was just kicking my ass. And it's like, yeah, I could have grinded it out, but I was just like, fucking what? I just want to see the end of this game. So I turned it down. And I don't know, Steve, you're the Xenoblade person. I don't know if you ever fucked with difficulty settings. Turning it down to easy doesn't really make the game that much easier. It just lessens you up just a little bit.
Well, in the original Xenoblade X, I don't know how it is in Switch 2 land. That was just a suggestion, lowering the difficulty, but that's another story.
Yeah, all it really did in Xenoblade Definitive Edition made it so I didn't have to grind. It was still tough. So I just played the rest of the game that way, and I was just like, and I was fine with that. I didn't really need to, I didn't want to run around these places and grind anymore. I did enough of it. So yeah, like, honestly, if you want to turn like a game like this down to easy, I don't think that's I don't feel like you're missing out on something.
Yeah, I think that's, it's a like fucking my personal like inner ego is going to take a hit. At the same time, I am probably not going to finish this game like literally over 40 hours. I truly feel like I have like barely scratched the surface. The amount of like area in the map that I have covered is like, I like not even talking about like fully exploring that area. I don't think I have like traveled outside of the boundary of probably a quarter of the map. Whoa. Like, it's fucking huge. And I'm like, but I want to keep playing because I'm having fun with it. At the same time, I don't like respect the game enough in a way to be feeling like I need to like see the end of it. So then I'm like, okay, if I'm going to have more fun for whatever time I'm going to spend in it, if I put it on easy mode, who fucking cares? Like, I just want to see more of like the parts I enjoy, I guess.
What's the story like? Is the story interesting or no?
That's the other thing that this game took a lot of shit for, because as far as story, there really is not a story. I do not need to think about like, do I need to make this a spoiler-free discussion? Because I'll tell you, in the first hour of the game, you start out and you're with a group of good guys and you get fucked up with a group of bad guys, and you need to get the good guys back together and fuck the bad guys up. And again, that's in the first hour, and that's literally about as much as I can explain about the story 40 hours in. Your character is a pretty like lifeless, stoic guy. I mean, I don't have any fucking connection with him. I don't give a shit about him. And the game took a lot of shit for that, and I understand why this is a point of contention. I am like super okay with this. Andre, do you remember when we were talking about Forbidden West and you were getting into the story stuff and you were like super hyped about it, and I was like, honestly, I haven't really been fucking paying attention to it, and I'm not really connecting with it. And you were like, really? Like, what the fuck? And I'm playing. I
was the same way with Avowed too, if you remember.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I don't think, I don't like, story in general is not a thing. Like, if I'm playing like a Telltale game or something and I'm like, I'm getting into it and I'm here for the story, great. I really do not. I just don't think I'm a person that needs to have this like story as a motivation. I'm just, here playing a video game.
I don't need it either. Like, if you think about Fallout games, they're not really story driven so much. It's just like, here's a scenario, and here's what you're going to play out. It's not like super duper, here's all the story stuff you want to find, like that's not really that kind of game. And so like, I don't need that stuff. I don't need it to be like Horizon or Avowed. Like Fallout isn't like that. And I love Fallout. So I don't need it, but if it's there and it's good, it's definitely nice. I'm not going to ignore it.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought out Fallout, because that's the next thing I wanted to talk about. And that Fallout is a really good demonstration of this, because I feel the same way. But in Fallout, like, the stories that are interesting are like the small sub stories. It's not like the overall arching story, but you find interesting circumstances and scenarios.
Yep.
So in here, for an example, the amount of like fucking little side things that you can go and do is like insane and endless. And so one of the things you can do is there's like the first area you're in, they have like the little guard post with the little prison, and you can find bounties around the area and pick them up. And so I think like I had done a number of those just because I was enjoying doing it. Most people will not ever do them. And probably like, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 bounties in, and you just find flyers around the world. And the flyer is like, okay, this guy is wanted for stealing honey. And so I'm okay. So I like went on this like super. So I went and fucking tracked this guy. Yeah, he's a long ways away. And you can't like fast travel back. When you get your bounty, you got to like fucking take him on your horse back to the main town. And so I found him and get him on my horse. And it's important to note, like, dialogue is pretty varied. You don't hear a lot in this game of like people repeating the same shit over, but this guy is like really repeating the same lines over and over. And he's like yelling, and he's like, you know, clearly has legitimate mental issues. And he's like, I'm so sorry, I won't do it again. But he keeps talking about how he's a grown man. When he was a little kid, his mom was like, just sit here and eat this honey and I'll be back. And then she like fucking abandoned him. And it just entirely fucked this guy up. And so he's like psychotic, going around stealing honey in this like, you know, like deranged effort to like reconnect with his mom or something. And eventually, so I spent like 10 minutes getting this guy back. And finally I was like, I can't do this. So I just like stopped and fucking untied the guy, and he just like ran off into the bushes. And that was it. And there's no thing where it's like, oh, you decided to do this, so this is how it will play out. That quest is still just sitting in my fucking huge list of open quests saying, bring this guy back to the guards, and nothing will ever come of it. But I thought, I don't know, that I had fun with that, where it's this like, this is your own way to tell your own interesting story. And I like that.
I guess so, but I would have also preferred the Bethesda, like, hey, how about you just kill him? You know what I mean? And you complete the quest, right? Like,
you're gonna kill the humanoid Winnie the Pooh. He just wants those smackrels of honey, man.
Yeah, I could have killed him. And actually, I think it says you get like 50% of the bounty if you kill them, but you have to bring them back alive to get 100%. But I think that would have been
worth it. I'll take Fitty to not have to hear him anymore.
Oh man, the value. I cannot put a value on the good it did for my soul to let that poor guy go away.
Oh my god.
I want to talk about like the setting and vibe. So this is a very like high fantasy game, but it has, you know, magic and like some like fucking tech and gears and neon light type shit in it. It's really not trying to be like Game of Thrones. It's very, I've seen like really nothing sexual in this game, nothing boundary pushing in this game. However, people in this game love calling each other cunts so much. That word is used so frequently, and like variations of cunt, like calling somebody cunt knuckle. And I find this like so delightful, especially because the game isn't trying to be like adult or risque. This is just a place where people love to say cunt, and I'm like super here for that.
Is there anything else? Is there some fucks? Is there some like any like?
I think they're in there. It's not censoring itself, but it's not overused where the game is trying to be like they are fixated on calling each other cunts, and it's fucking great.
I like it.
There has been a lot of comparisons to multiple games, especially Tears of the Kingdom. And broad overview, here's where that's coming from. This is a big open world game. There's lots of climbing, managing your stamina while you climb. There is an entirely separate sky area with floating islands, and also like relatively visually similar to Tears of the Kingdom in the sky area. You can jump off them and you can glide down to the surface, you know, again, using stamina, you gather items and you cook your food for health, etc. This game is like, it's almost annoying. This game is not even remotely similar to play. Obviously, I think there's, you know, some ideas and inspiration borrowed from there, just like, you know, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom did from numerous other open world games. But it's very much its own thing. So I think I was just feeling a little bit fatigued by all of the, you know, comparisons, because they don't make sense at all to me. If I had to compare it to something, you know, I would compare it to Skyrim, and it's entirely unlike Skyrim, like in so many ways. But I think just the first time I played Skyrim, you know, just that like sense of like wonderment of exploring and like seeing cool things and finding things and like treating the game like a puzzle of figuring out how it wants you to play it and how you can break it and interact with it. So it's kind of got that same experience. But again, this is like in absolutely no way, shape, or form a Skyrim like either.
I think that's like readily apparent once you just see footage of it. I don't even think you have to play the game to know that. Yeah.
I mean, it's too much of like a fucking misguided mismatch to really be not its own thing, honestly, like for better or worse.
Crimson Desert has to be a Crimson Desert, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll touch on the tech a little bit. I'm glad I played this on PC. Digital Foundry has done a fuck ton of coverage of this game, and all of its versions. And I would say I'm definitely getting a better experience than I would if I played this on PS5 or Series X. There's a big downside for me to playing on on PC, because I bet you I've spent like 3 or 4 hours literally just fucking with the settings, wondering, is this running as good as I can get it to? I'm turning shit on, turning shit off, checking what the frame rate is, looking at the shadows, looking for shimmering, does DLSS 4.0 or 4.5 work better? Like all of this shit. And, because now I'm like, I feel like I need to like make sure I'm getting the best experience I can. But I also know if I was playing this on PS5, it wouldn't look, it would not look as good on base PS5.
No.
But I can say, okay, let's check out quality, let's check out balance, let's check out performance. What do I like best? And then I can just go with it. And I think it's interesting, like dicking around with all of that stuff, but it is kind of like killing the like video gameness of it to a degree. And I did wind up using DLSS frame gen, which I know that's a fucking hot button topic. But I turned it on, played for a while, turned it off, played for a while. And I think it just felt like there was a clear upside to keeping it on.
I think FrameGen is good if you're not trying to overdo it. Like I used FrameGen when we played Avowed, and without it, it ran in like the high 50s, like 55. Sometimes it was 60 or whatever. I was capping at 60, but with the FrameGen, it was just 60. So I'm just making up a few frames there. You know what I mean? It's not like it was running in the 30s and then I'm trying to make it 60 with FrameGen. I think that's where you like kind of get into trouble.
Yeah. Well, and I keep like jacking things up and jacking them up. I'm running the game at 1440, and at a certain point. So like, the more I want to like push the visual fidelity. So I started getting into like the, like mid to high 40s where I was like normally running. And then I turned FrameGen on and I'm running in like the mid 70s. I'm and I just, it's hard for me to see the downside to it. I sure wouldn't want to do that in like every game, I don't think, but yeah, it was hard to like justify not using it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start trying to wrap this up. It has been fun watching this game evolve in real time. I talked about those patches and just like, I've like made it a daily habit multiple times a day now, usually to go and like check the Crimson Desert subreddit and just seeing like what people are talking about and fucking what's going on and what's pissing people off, because people get fucking salty about this game and people like some people really, really fucking love this game. I've given it some high praise. I would have a really hard time recommending this game to literally everyone, because I think if you want this is so not the game that you're like, oh, this sounds kind of interesting, let me buy it to give it a shot and see what I think. You need to like walk into this game and treat it like its own project, and you need to be willing to accept some like real bullshit. And I don't think I'm fucking going on so long. I could have spent a significant amount longer talking about like the problems and faults with this game. But I think like how I talked about earlier, it really boils down to like, there's so many systems, there's so many mechanics, and they feel like they were developed in isolation. There was like unbelievable feature bloat, and everything is obscure. I never like when I'm playing a game and I have to like pick up my phone and Google, where is this, or how do I do this, or whatever. It feels like that is part of the design of this game. And I think you like kind of like need to be okay with accepting that, because it is so obscure. Like I am constantly Googling, where is this? What am I supposed to be doing? Because the moveset is so large, it doesn't like always tell you. You can be in this large area in the sky, and it's like there are all these like visually distinct things there, and you have all of these like fucking moves that you can't even remember how to use half of them, and you have to use one of those moves in one of these areas that there's like no, it's not like there's like a bright glowing light being like, this is the thing that you're supposed to use your force push move on or whatever. So it's fucking constant Googling, and that's just been part of it. And I think if that like scares you off, do not play this game. Because it's like, yeah, you need to treat it like a project. I want to end off real quick. So I read a post about this game. I don't agree with the entire thing, but I thought it was interesting, and it kind of makes, I kind of agree with a lot of this in general with like game reviews, but I thought it applied especially to this game.
Right.
So somebody put this on Reddit, and they said, I'll tell you all outright, this game will be divisive as hell because it requires you to commit. There's no easy paths forward, no free boss fights. You're going to struggle learning controls at first, getting upgrades, getting stat points. But for those that deep dive, it is truly one of the most rewarding games I've played. I've never expected the Metacritic score to be high because, frankly, it's anti-traditional media reviewer. I saw people in the review Discord complaining about boss fights. Meanwhile, they had 26 skill points to my 78, and they were trying to blast through the game. Reviewers that spent 2 weeks in review feeling rushed to reach an ending will absolutely resent it. Meanwhile, I spent my 2 weeks enjoying the hell out of the game at my own pace, going on adventures, solving puzzles, and upgrading my dude to become a god in combat. This is the kind of game you'll see streamers playing for 6 months straight, still discovering new shit and having a blast. But people that approached it as, I need to review this, rather than for the love of the game, we're never going to enjoy it. If you're the type of player that wants that big-ass adventure that you completely get lost in, you'll absolutely find it here. I think they were far too generous to the game, for one. But this game did not review overly well. And I think more so than any game, like, and again, this is true in so many cases. If you are sitting down and you're like, I'm under a time crunch, I need to get this done. There are a lot of games that is just like not really a viable way to play it if you want to enjoy it. This is the like most shining option of that concept that I think I could like ever think of.
I think, look, I know myself. This is a big old pass for me. Absolutely no thank you. I mean, quite frankly, I'm surprised you even tried this. I would never think you would want to try a game like this that is this Byzantine for no reason, honestly.
This seems like the not Kevin game at all.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I was thinking about this the other day, right? We played Avowed, and like, all of us liked Avowed, but I really sucked that game's dick. And I was like, This game is so good. And comparing it to something like the Elder Scrolls, where it is like, we are cutting the fat at every fucking corner we can. If it's not good, it's not there. We're going to streamline it. And that is like very, very not this game. But again, I think that's why, coming back around to what I started with, I like this game in spite of itself. It's so interesting. Like all of the, like the game itself and everything around it is really interesting.
And if you remember, I objected to Avowed cutting what you considered fat. And like, no, that's not fat. That's soul. Fat is what makes this taste good. So I was kind of pushing back on that. It's like, no, I don't necessarily want like a Elder Scrolls 6 to be like this at all. I like Avowed that's fine for one game, but I don't want games like this going forward to be this way necessarily. But Crimson Desert, like you said, is way too far in the other direction. Like that is not something I want to do.
It's almost not comparable. I guess if we're talking about cutting the fat, the Crimson Desert is like a fucking fatty steak. And then they're like on the side, you're going to have some ice cream and it's melting into the steak. And there is some candy corn and there's a fucking taco and it's all getting like mushed up into these things that you take like an individual bite of. I don't know.
Yep. On the same
but
plate.
I am like, I'm also not like, okay, I've talked about this on the show and I am at some point I can see me like stopping playing this because I want to like just play other shit, but I can see me also going back to this. It's so fucking pretty is the thing too. Like the outdoor environments are like so pretty.
If I like the art style more, I would probably give it more of a look. I'm just not a fan of the way like, I don't know, that kind of look is like a hard sell on me. If I think like Elder Scrolls has more sass to it, I mean, we're talking about something fairly like lock, stock, and barrel, like Swords and Sorcery, which is fine. I know people love that shit, but I don't really like get into that, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
I get it. It's a lot more like muted than something like Forbidden West.
Yeah.
or something
for
like
sure.
that, like for sure. So, all right. Jesus. I will shut up for a little bit.
Okay, shut up.
All right. I made a promise. And so I'm going to be a little candid with you people for a second.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I brought this up a very long time ago in passing in our 2025 The World Enslaved by a Virus episode. That was a while ago now. Holy shit.
Yeah.
But I know how I sound, but I don't do any of that. I work for a church, you guys. It's not great work. It's not the best kind of work. It's not fulfilling work. And I hate myself a little more every time I go. It's miserable. So if I sound a little try-hardy at sometimes on these things, that's why. Okay, Kevin, are we okay with that now? For an explanation over there.
I'm okay. Okay. You know what? I think you're Andre's boy.
Wow.
I'm not even trying to be that, but if I'm showing up with a voice or 7, that's why. All right, I'm trying to live the life that I'd like for like an hour and a half every other week. All right, and for that, I'm sorry.
You're great.
I'm
You're
also
great.
Thank you. But what I'm even more sorry about is that because Easter happened in this church environment, I don't get to come on and say, hey guys, while we were gone, I played Leisure Suit Larry too, and then have you guys go, and maybe a few guys in the car and at home too go, ooh, 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 ooh. We don't get to do that this time, because a little game called I Am Jesus Christ released on Steam, and I stared in disbelief as Andre was like, Steve, you gotta fucking play this thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You're the guy.
fuck, I do got to play this thing, don't I? Because, yeah, I thought this game was a joke too, everybody. And guys, this is a sick joke in its own way. We'll get there, I promise, one step at a time. This game gained a lot of notoriety for being a game about Jesus Christ, announced around lockdown, and we all had a good laugh about that on the internet and put it out of our collective minds, because what are the odds of them just plugging away at it for years, keeping a devlog up on Steam? And what are further odds still of Steve having a creative endeavor in the future where he'd have to play it? None of these hens are ever coming home to roost. No, sir. No way. No how. No.
You think you were being rid of Fine Time in the next 5 years after that?
No. That was the previous creative endeavor. Was when this game was.
You're right. It was that long ago.
Like, holy
You're
shit.
right.
This game was never coming out. I was never going to play this. I wasn't even playing games on PC at the time. And really forget about playing this game anywhere, because, oh, Kevin's sitting over here. Oh, I upgraded my computer. It can run Crimson Desert now. Let's talk about performance. We all like to talk about performance. It shouldn't shock anyone anyone listening at all ever, that a religious video game was not made in good faith. It's a practicing dating back to Wisdom Tree, if not earlier. Because this game is promising all kinds of lush detail, reflections, draw distance, up to 120 frames per second. No. None of that fucking shit. Let me stop you right fucking there. Because in order for my Legion Go, or even my actual laptop computer that Andre picked out for me last year, so
I did.
Fairly recent devices I have over here, for any of these things to stand a chance to play this game without crying out, my God, why have you forsaken me? That's a Bible verse, by the way. Everything's got to be cranked down to more reasonable levels. Like, we got to get rid of all that detail and at a 30 frames per second cap. that it still struggles to reach a good chunk of the time.
My God.
Maybe God's computer could play this game as intended. Yours probably cannot.
Does God have a triple 5090 maybe, or like what's he rocking up there?
And even if he does, would he want to play this game? Would you want to play this game if you got this game? Well,
it's funny. It's funny because like whenever you showed me the couple screenshots you did from it, I'm like, I don't know why it's struggling because this game looks like shit. Like it looks like fucking crap.
Yeah, it does. Even when things were cranked up and struggling and kicking itself out, it wasn't looking the best. So
it looks like a late PS3, early PS4 game. Like I don't know what's going on. Like, so why is it struggling so hard? It looks like fucking crap. These textures are like from 2011.
I don't know. I don't have the answers.
I don't get it.
I'm also not going to sit here and tell you whether or not a prophet named Jesus of Nazareth really died for your sins or not. I'm not that edgelord looking for that kind of attention, and that brand of asshole in one way or the other is just plain uninteresting to me. It really is. I am going to tell you that this game, I Am Jesus Christ, sets out on a mission to let you, the player at home, control Jesus Christ on a first-person open world thing where you go through his adult life and ministry as portrayed in the Bible. And it is incredibly half-assed.
I thought you were going to tell me it's like Fallout 3 where you literally start by being born. Like you are Jesus Christ from a baby.
You just pop out of Mary.
Yeah. That would have been amazing.
The game opens with, the classic kind of we're flipping through a storybook thing like you'd see of other games of the type. The book is the Bible, obviously. They recap his birth and early life and such before you end up at his home in Nazareth. You have a HUD message bidding that you speak to your earthly father, Joseph, outside. There's a marker telling you where to go. The homes are decorated enough, but you can't interact with all this shit. You got garlic and things hanging on the walls. There's beads over there. Whatever. You can't interact with these things. Okay, it's a little minimalist, but all right. We had a chat about this being okay sometimes with Avowed. Again, we're going to talk about Avowed for a second. It's okay. We don't have to interact with every little thing for it to be a real video game. That's fine. Mm-hmm. We follow the marker where Jesus is sawing some wood. This tracks. Jesus learned some carpentry before he set out on his ministry and even worked it into the ministry sometimes. Okay, this is fine. Maybe this won't be 100% embarrassing. Give it a second. But then you talk to Joseph, and the cracks start to form immediately. Hello, Jesus! And then this quarter turn of the head, like, we're playing L.A. Noire, like, he's scrutinizing you, happens, and, like, everyone else will be doing this too, but we see it for the first time with Joseph. I'm not sure what look we're going for with these people here, but it's not right. Like, they couldn't decide whether NPCs should have been Middle Eastern, which would be accurate, or European, as depicted in many paintings we're all familiar with. So they met in the middle, which is a dumb choice to make because Israel was already occupied by Rome at the time.
I figured they would have went with like the Hollywood mid-century whitewashing, like 10 Commandments and like shit like that.
Which would already be done because you're going to interact with a bunch of Romans anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're talking to Joseph, who I have to say, I'm sorry, kind of looks like Kevin doing brown face about the premonition. Yeah, I know. You tell your earthly father, Kevin Joseph, about the premonition you had about needing to be baptized by your cousin, John the Baptist. And really, most of this game is going to be walking around wherever the HUD tells you. Yes, mostly on foot. Sometimes there's a cart or a boat, but you're mostly walking around Israel on foot.
Just Jesusing it up.
In first person, mind you. So you never actually see Jesus until the end of the game. We'll get there too. But
I mean, to be fair, Jesus didn't have a Vespa.
No, no, but I'm saying like you could fast travel when you find things, but it's a lot of walking around the fucking desert. You could toggle on a run, but then you see like the Jesus hands like flapping around like he's not making a lot of noise, but you see like the hands flapping. I'm like, oh, there's his hands. Like
that would be funny if you had like the third person thing, so you could see Jesus Naruto run with the airplane hands, you know, the arms out, or like the Mario run, you know.
Well, you'll be seeing many locations as devs interpreted from the time, but none of these places feel lived in unless a person is directly involved with you or has a side quest, for lack of a better term of some kind. They're less like people and more with the cadence of a half-assed passion play or similar religious group with a handful of stock lines of the weather is perfect for a walk today. I need to buy fresh bread for dinner. And occasionally some of the others will be even more, fanatical, like, these women came out of down the mountain seeing angels. I heard there's a new rabbi preaching at the synagogue. Even things that should like sound more concerned, like the Roman occupation has been taxing on us all. None of these things have any weight to it. Jesus died for these people.
Well, okay. I mean, I was going to say, well, this just sounds very like Oblivion or whatever, but Oblivion is literally 20 years old. So I feel like we should be able to do better than that today. But, it's just not fun because they're not even interacting with each other. They're just like interacting around each other, if that makes sense. Even Oblivion, like, had occasionally walking in and talking like near them at a shop. Like you can plausibly see that. Here, they're just are going past each other. And again, it has an excuse because it's 20 years old. This does not. Yeah.
But surely because it's a video game, the things that you do are fairly notable and video gamey, right? Somehow, no. Everyone else speaks. Jesus is a silent protagonist, but text still lingers on the screen while he's speaking. This drives me crazy in real video games. I will ding Pokemon for that every time, so of course I'm going to ding on it here. But like I said, we're Jesus walking around the countryside, recruiting apostles and performing miracles, and sometimes that's a silly mini game. We need to help the fishermen after a bad night. Just guide the light beam of fish past the devil tornadoes into nets. Are we going to walk on water to some other guys? Just walk past more devil tornadoes to your friends.
Can I ask you a question? And I hope I'm not getting ahead of you. Do you get to turn water into wine?
Yes, and it is the same way we multiply the it's the same way we multiply the fish and the loaves. We just point at baskets, or in the case of the water into wine, the jugs, and stock sound effects play while things change color or things add on, and it's not great. Steve, you're not painting our Lord and Savior in a very positive light here, and guys, it's much worse when you're actually doing it.
But like, it doesn't even seem like the people care that you're Jesus, because like if you're just walking around, ooh, the weather is nice today. Ooh, I heard there's a new rabbi. Like they don't really like, I'm not saying they have to fall at your feet, but like, aren't you like, shouldn't they give more reverence to Jesus?
I mean, the idea is that they don't, the whole conceit of Christianity as a whole is that they didn't really appreciate it till it was gone, but it's even still.
You're playing as Jesus before Jesus was a thing?
You're playing Jesus while he's actively a thing, but even the people receiving miracles are like, oh, wow, look at this bread. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, you would think like, after you perform a few waters into wines and a few breads, like people will just start worshiping the ground you walk on. I mean, come on.
I mean, the game's not so hot on presentation either, because here's some, I mean, in case I wasn't giving you enough clues already. Back to the start of the game. You get baptized by John the Baptist. You go to the desert to fast. That's the 40 days. Where you encounter Satan, and he's going to try and, look, you don't need to be the savior of mankind. Why fucking bother, right? And this should have been a whole thing. But it's just a fucking drag. You go into a cave, and he, much like the passage, make these stones into bread, and you don't have to be hungry. Like, Jesus is like, no. Okay, you don't have an option. You just tap the button and it goes on. I understand the direction where Jesus has to be infallible. I understand that's not completely open-ended and we're trying to tell a story. But at the same time, Jesus is supposed to be human. Show us human players at home that he was supposed to be tempted in the desert by having him hallucinate these big loaves of bread there, like, or something. We're moving like it's fucking Looney Tunes or something. I don't know. Maybe not that.
Not that's
that
what I was thinking. Like,
but
they're marooned on the desert island. One guy looks at the other guy, he turns into a sausage or something like that. Ooh, I'm going to eat him, or like something like that. Like
have him think about it for a second. Like further along, jump off this ledge, and God will send angels to catch you. You will not put your God to the test. Okay, what fucking ledge? It might be a foot down. I mean, like that's not Jesus being tempted by anything.
Is there any combat? Do you get to kill anything as Jesus?
No, we get the power of exorcism, but everything turns into like the dark world for a second, like Israel's dark world for a second, and you get to like sort of lift up a demon and then gently carry it into the demon hole, and then
that sounds pretty sweet.
No. There's like this dumb music that plays in the background. It's like Jesus.
What is this game trying? Is this game trying to like is it trying?
No, it's not trying. But what are you trying to ask?
Does it seem like they are trying to entertain you, or is this literally more of a thing of like, here is a way for somebody to like interactively understand what Jesus went through? Like, what was the intent when they were doing this?
I think it's supposed to be both, because it ends up being fairly open-ended after this last part where, again, this last very pivotal part of the fasting where, okay, if you renounce all of this, I will give you the entire human world. And he still turns it down. And they represent this by like having a few centurions lined up. That's not tempting. Like, come on, I would have turned that shit down.
What is this game rated? Is there anything saucy in it? Or like, is there
No, there's nothing.
Okay.
I can't. It's fairly open-ended after that. They make you recruit apostles, and they do make you, but they let you do it in mostly whatever order you want. Like later on, like, okay, there's another pivotal passage in the Bible where Jesus calls out the hypocrisy of the current order by flipping the currency exchange tables and releasing the animals out of pens and cages to the shock and horror of people around you. You know, that thing that everyone glosses over every year because everyone sells things in church. You'd think this would be cathartic as hell, right? Maybe some righteous Jesus rage noises while he's flipping over a whole ass table and livestock just running the fuck around the temple open area, and maybe this cool ass visual where a fuck ton of doves are like making a break for it. No, he just kind of points at furniture and cage doors and they just collapse like they were made at Five Below. Maybe there's like one sheep running around, and you have to do this at 2 different times in the game. It's like they were proud of this, like just so you're reminded of how lame this was.
I'm trying to imagine Jesus pissed off, and I can't do it. It's very hard for me to do
and
this.
He was pissed off about this, and they make it very clear that he's mad about this in the Bible. But here, it's like, it doesn't feel it here.
Do you get to get circumcised? Do they show that part or no?
I told you they skipped over that at the beginning.
Oh, well,
because you know what, Andre? For the sake of fine time sins, I was a good Christian soldier. I did everything. I did the miracles as retrieved from throwing balls around the gates of heaven. I got my powers that way. I taught the optional sermons. I outsmarted the optional Pharisees. They're like super rabbis for people that don't know what that is. And by outsmarting them, I got some Bible trivia answers correctly. And like that's what outsmarting a Pharisee is to them. Like, oh, darn, you remembered how that went because it's a multiple choice question and we just let you answer that as many times as you want. There's no consequences. But we do all that shit. And then we ride into Jerusalem again on an ass, knock over those tables again, as I mentioned. We hold the Last Supper where we mercifully only wash 3 of the apostles' feet, perform the transfiguration of wine to blood just by pointing at the right glasses on the table. Then we prayed about our stock in life so far, got stuck in Satan Wonderworld where he makes you walk the cross in the spoopy snake dimension again before you have to do it again in the game. Guess what? Yeah, you're going to have to walk with the cross twice in this fucking thing.
Oh,
you
boy.
Wake up, get arrested, put on trial, sentenced, then march down, and they do the whole thing. The whipping, the crown of thorns, and they make you carry that whole cross. Another inaccuracy we never bothered to correct as a society because being crucified means you only carry that little wood part, not where they nail you to, not the whole tree.
Does this part get like pretty heavy?
They want it to, but maybe for some people it might, but I go to church 3 to 4 times a week. I don't feel shit.
I'm sure production value wise, it's hard to like really fucking drive it home too.
Yeah.
I don't know. You fall down the streets of Jerusalem 3 times. You do that. Up to Golgotha. You promise that one thief that you'll see him on the other side. Then he dies in the one part where the silent protagonist Jesus speaks. Then the narrator butts in again and is like, on the 3rd day, Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to check in, but the other soldier's astonishment, he was gone. Then an angel arrived and said he is risen. Then he performed some other miracles and ascended to heaven into heaven in the end. Oh, so it's just over now.
That's it?
Yeah, so I wasn't telling you about my completionist tendencies to show off. It was to more point out that Mary Magdalene, a whore that he saved from death in another crucial passage, let he who is without sin cast the first stone, comes from this, is not in this game until that point anywhere. Secondly,
I'm sorry, I need to back up. So Jesus actually spoke. I'm sorry, I don't think I understood. What did he say?
Oh, he says the last words he says while nailing on the cross, I am finished. This is finished. To indicate, okay, that's my ministry. I'm fulfilling his covenant on earth.
Okay.
Well, no, you heard the hastily rushed narration. He came back.
Yes, of course. Yes, he
went
back.
away. She's not in this game, but like I said, Mary Magdalene's not anywhere. They really did stop short of him going, I have to go now. My home planet needs me here. Mercifully, there is no post-game campaign where you roll away the boulder yourself, meet 2 disciples on the road to Emmaus, let Thomas touch your nail holes, break and enter into a bunch of people's homes, and then press F to ascend into heaven until the last day. Mercifully, none of those things are here. But at the same time, oh my God, this game sucked at everything. I'm not saying I knew what I would do differently, but I don't know. Maybe not this. On one hand, this game only costs as much as a Bible if you're really that interested. But on the other hand, maybe just give this money you would spend to a food bank that needs it and watch. Oh my God, what's that movie? I had it until just now. Jesus of Nazareth? No.
Passion of the Christ 2.
No, not that one.
Okay.
I had it in my head until a second ago. Guys, y'all threw me off my game so much that, yes, the movie it's not a movie, it's a miniseries, Jesus of Nazareth. Watch that. You can also watch The Last Temptation of Christ. That's a bit more whitewashy. Both of those things are better than this shit. Oh, my God.
I mean, if you say so. I'm glad you played the Jesus game so we didn't have to. I'm not even. You know what I think? This is probably the longest we've ever had a Now Playing segment at the beginning of this show. I think we definitely need a shower. For sure.
I'm sweaty as fuck.
We definitely need to wash away our sins.
All right, let's go.
It's time to hit the showers. We'll be right back on Fine Time.
All right. Feeling good. Needed that shower. Felt filthy. How do you guys feel? How you feeling, Kevin?
Not only did I wash away some of my sins, I washed some of the sins off Steven as well.
Oh, nice. I mean, we both did. I'm sorry, Steve. We both had to wash you off.
I don't think I'll ever be fully cleansed of the world's sins, or even fine time sins.
All right. Well, since we just got out of the shower, we should do something very appropriate. Usually after we get out of the shower, we do a taste test. We want a snack. This will not be a taste test because I don't want to taste these, but this will be a test of sorts because all three of us have the Super Mario Galaxy movie themed Old Spice deodorants. There's a Mario one and a Luigi one, and we have both of them. And we just decided to smell them on the air or maybe put some on or however we want to do this. I didn't really have a plan for this, guys, but we do have the deodorant. Well, how do you think this should go down? Like Mario and then Luigi or like...
Well, I have to disclose, I don't have Luigi. I could not find Luigi.
Oh,
okay.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
but,
no.
Kevin, you have Luigi, right?
I have both in kind of my plan. And maybe not only for the show. Maybe I will just do this as a personal hygiene routine for a while. I think I want to do Mario on one pit and Luigi on the other armpit.
I was thinking the same thing. We are on the same warpath there. Definitely.
This is actually my next stick of deodorant for the next few until it's depleted, so I hope it's good.
Otherwise, yeah. Well, because that's the thing. Deodorant is so damn expensive anymore where it's like, even if it's kind of hard to like mix it up, right? Because that's why I stick with the tried and true. Because it's like, okay, let's try this new one. If it sucks, I have to use that shit. That's not like I'm throwing it away. So you got to ride it out. Anyway, well, I mean, that's how I am anyway. Okay, yeah. So, since we all have Mario, why don't we start there? What does it say at the top? Scent of Star Showers, Cosmic Quest. That's what it says here. And there's like a slider. If you guys look near the bottom, it says scent intensity, and it's like in the middle.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And if you told me any of this was going to happen back in 2007 when the Mario Galaxy game was coming out, I'd look at you like you were fucking crazy.
Well, if I showed you this Mario, you'd probably be like, dog, what is that? Like, that is not a... I mean, I like the movie designs, but we wouldn't have been used to this look. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay, you guys just want to pop this open? Okay,
no,
Kevin,
wait,
you wanted
wait.
to guess, right?
Hold on. I just want to read this quick thing on the back here. Discover the untapped power of intergalactic freshness with Old Spice deodorant.
Untapped power.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. No, Kevin, didn't you want to guess what they smell like or something?
Well,
or didn't you have like
so Luigi says scent of vanilla sands. Luigi is Desert Detour. But Mario I have nothing in my head to assume what Star Showers or Cosmic Quest is supposed to smell like. I'm kind of assuming that Mario, because it's generic, might be a little Old Spicy. My expectation, I think Luigi is going to smell sexier. I think that Luigi is going to be more seductive, and I think I'm going to like Luigi's scent better.
I think so as well, but we'll get there in a second. I think this Mario one is going to smell kind of fruity, like a little cherry or like raspberry is what I'm thinking, Steve.
I'm not getting any hints off the thing itself, so sure, why not? Some kind of I don't know what I'm going to have a Cosmic Quest deodorant smell like, so
I think the Mario is going to smell like cheap cologne you would use when you were a kid. That's what I think it's going to smell like.
so a real New York Italian then. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Hey,
come on. You know it's true.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to say it.
Okay, sorry. Okay, let's pop this shit open. Let's see. Okay. Let's see here. Okay.
Oh, my little cap went flying. Oh, it does.
That's kind of spot on. It's a little fruity,
but I think I'm kind of right. I don't think I was wrong with my like that does smell like a cologne you would use as a kid.
It's
Does
a
it
very
not?
fresh fruit, though. Like very like has that fresh deodorant smell, of course. But
I like it.
yeah, I'm not unhappy with this. This is definitely something I would personally wear.
I mean,
Steve?
I have to for the time being, but it's probably fine.
I like it. So is this like a anti? No, it's just deodorant. It's not an antiperspirant.
Oh,
Okay, perfect.
oh well.
Yeah. No,
All right,
I
should
don't
we
really like
sniff?
the anti. I don't know about you guys. I don't like the antiperspirant unless I'm wearing something like a tank top or something where it's like I don't have sleeves. You know?
Yeah, I feel like that's asking for like clogged pores and shit.
Yeah. So occasionally I'll use it in the summer or something. But all right, that's good. I'm not unhappy with that at all. That is definitely. I'm relieved it's something I would actually like wear. You know, I guess like you don't have to guess. I guess if you're at the store, you can just kind of pop one open and smell it. But I always feel like a dumbass doing that at the store. I try not to do that. Do you guys
I
do that?
loud
Or
and proud, like shamelessly. I'll sit and like spray the sprays and fuck.
oh
Yeah.
man, he's that guy, Steve.
I know.
I don't, but for a long time, these things were covered in foil too. I'm surprised this wasn't.
Yeah, they don't really have I haven't seen the foil in like forever. Okay, Kevin, let's try the Luigi one.
Okay.
Sorry, Steve. I think this is going to be, I think you're right. This is going to be like kind of musky and like leather, I think, is what it's going to be.
Yeah, I'm just not as confident that I'm going to like it more than the Mario now because the Mario smells better than I was expecting.
Well, it does say vanilla sands, but I don't know if that means it's going to really smell like vanilla, though. You know?
What does sand smell like?
But see, when
Maybe
I think
sandalwood.
sand, yeah, sandalwood, right? Or like I said, leather, or like kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Let's pop this
I
shit
can't
open.
wait any
Let's do it.
longer yet.
Let's do it. Yeah, it's musky.
It's more manly for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I don't like it as much though. It's got a little bit of a like tang is not the right word.
I thought I was expecting to have a little. I don't know if the word. I don't think spice is the correct word for like deodorant, but like I was expecting something a little more like acrid, but it's not. It's very smooth, like smoky, maybe a little more smoky, but it's not. But it definitely doesn't smell like vanilla. Like if I saw this, I saw vanilla sands.
No.
I would not read this as vanilla. You know,
It really reminds me of something, and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck it is.
I like the Mario one more as well, but this is good. I like this as well.
I'm pretty on the fence about this one. I don't know.
Really? So it's kind of disappointing. Not like
A little
hitting?
bit, yeah. Not. This is not what I was expecting from Vanilla Sands. It does not smell fresh.
Yeah, this is not fresh. This is definitely like a little more night on the town, which is what I was expecting. Like Mario is a more everyday one. Luigi feels a little. Yeah. Well, hey, I think, if you stick with your plan of putting one on one pit and one on the other, I think these will play off each other nice.
Yeah, we'll go and see which side woos the ladies.
All right. Yeah, that was worthy. I don't know what to call this. The sniff test. It's definitely not a taste test. Thank you for joining our sniff. Uh-oh. Thank you for joining our taste/sniff test. Okay, we have a couple big-ish questions, or they're questions. I don't know how big they are. But, Steve, I want to ask you this real quick. I would say, what was it? Last Friday, Level 5 had their little presentation. What is it? Vision 2026. And it was subtitled Craftsmanship, which is really fucking funny because they came out with all this stuff about Deca Police is going to use ChatGPT to make missions or whatever for us and shit. And it's like, oh no, you guys, no, not like this, right? And we kind of wrote that game off in our heads, and Level 5 in general, if they were going to go down that path. So the fact that the word was craftsmanship here, Steve, was kind of ironic. Did they show any signs in this presentation, in your opinion, that it's like, hey, maybe they learned something and this might be okay after all?
See, I think they did. I don't know if Hino did. Because he had his opening statement and they sounded a little bit of a rambly old man out there, or like, oh, well, craftsmanship comes in many forms, and with AI, which he only brought up the one time, we have to consider what that might be. And then you actually watch the presentation, and I don't know, there were a few oddball choices, like, why the hell are we doing Suika game again? Did you see? Did you see what Inti Creates did with it? Anyway,
Yep.
Anyway, but it's like, I don't know. Nothing out here shouted Gen AI to me, and even Deca Police is like, okay, they didn't show that in any meaningful capacity. That was, look, this needs a lot more fucking time, and I'm really hoping that means, yeah, we saw you making fun of us. When you see it again, it's not going to have our pretend Chat GPT in it.
It's just, I mean, obviously that's the thing I care about the most here is Deca Police. So I'm glad it feels like they're going back to the drawing board. I know they announced this years and years ago, and it's okay that this is happening. I'm fine with that. Yeah, this presentation was promising. The amount of mobile games, though, was a bit, almost felt retro. It almost felt like you tune into like TGS 2015 and Square's like, we're going to show a new Mana game. And it's like some fucking mobile gotcha. Like that kept happening over and over.
It's not as bad as when they were all in on mobile. It's like, here's Fantasy Life 2. It is a mobile game that you will not be able to play, and it's free to play for about 5 minutes, but then it costs $500.
Yeah,
it's not that level 5 anymore, thankfully.
The fact that the new Yokai Watch though is mobile, I think that's kind of trash. Like I just think that sucks.
They have it attached to another Yokai Watch game, so I think that the scenario's running out of that. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Professor Layton at the end of the year, I hope, this time, for real.
I've only played the first Professor Layton, and I've never played another one. And I like that game a lot. I don't know why I never followed up with the 1400 sequels, but
I'm more confused with why it's coming to PS5, because I feel like you need to be able to interact with the screens and things.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it should come to Vita. Revive Vita for Professor Layton 8 or whatever this is. Do you even know which one it is?
What?
Which number Professor Layton this is?
The mainline game, this will be number 7.
7. Okay. But yeah, decent presentation, but I'm still not completely ready to trust level 5 just yet.
Case by case basis for me. I want to believe.
Okay. This came out a couple days ago. The Verge reported that, according to an internal memo at Microsoft, new Xbox CEO Asha Sharma said that Game Pass has gotten too expensive for gamers. She says, and this is a direct quote, Game Pass is central to gaming value on Xbox. It's also clear that the current model isn't the final one. That's a weird way to say that. Short term, Game Pass has become too expensive for players, so we need a better value equation. Long term, we will evolve Game Pass into a more flexible system, which will take time to test and learn around. End quote. It's hard for me to read through that corporate speak, guys, but I'm not sure. So are they just going to make that just sounds like they're going to make a lower tier that's cheap, that doesn't have a whole lot on it, to me, Kevin. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I think it's sure not being like we're going to across the board lower the prices of the tiers, right? You don't use the term we need a better value equation in that sense. But I also I don't think what else could they throw at it? Like what could Microsoft do to be like, we're gonna fucking make this really worth your money? They've kind of bled everything they have into getting behind Game Pass. So I can't really, I mean, I don't know. It feels like there's already like the proposition of getting Game Pass at like various tiers between like what's got PC, what's got everything, it's already just feels a little messy. I don't know. I guess I agree. I think what you're proposing is probably like as sensible as anything, but I don't know. You know, I can't see them saying we're going to just make it cheaper because we're seeing engagement drop. I don't think that would ever happen. I just can't really see what else they can do to like add value in the opposite direction.
I don't know. I mean, I completely agree with you, and I don't know either, Steve. It's like, I don't see them because it went up so high for the last, like, and recently, like in the last year and a half, I don't see how they can just be like, oh, never mind, and like put it back down. I don't see that.
There's only one move they can do, guys. It's time for them to finally officially let Donkey out of the closet onto Xbox and PC Game Pass.
Okay. What about Blinks, the time sweeper?
He's not on there?
I have no idea. I don't know what's on there. I have no clue. Okay. So here's the Xbox bit that got us chomping at the bit. So it seems Xbox is considering a return to platform exclusives. According to Jez Corden, I think everyone knows who Jez Corden is. He's a Xbox insider. I don't know. I know a lot of people. This guy gets a lot of stuff right. He also gets a lot of stuff wrong. So take this with a grain of salt. I mean, I don't know how accurate he is overall, but this is a name that invites some controversy sometimes. So, you know, I get it. But more than whether it's true or not, it's more just a good thought experiment. He goes on to say that, you know, some stuff has done big numbers on PS5. Like, we heard the reports that Forza Horizon 5 did like crazy numbers on PS5. Like, it was huge. You know what I mean? And that's an old ass game that's been around for a long time. So there's like an appetite for this. So it's clear, you know, Xbox, because they are doing this, it's doing long-term damage to their brand that they may or may not recover from. Apparently, these internal discussions are also including looking back at the Xbox 360 era and why that was so successful at pulling in everybody with Gears and Halo and Fable and shit. Guys, what have we been saying on the show for fucking years? What have we been saying since the inception of Fine Time? Gee, you think it's hurting their doing long-term damage to their brand? No fucking shit. You don't say. Like, we said that before they even did it. And guess what? And now they did it. And now you're reaping what they're sowing. Guys, I wonder if this isn't good after all. Kevin, I don't know if you were here when, I think you were gone. Me and Steve talked about Sony announced recently they're not bringing any more games to PC. Mm-hmm. Like, we talked about that. That happened recently, Steve. And now we're hearing this. Is everyone finally fucking coming to their senses? Finally?
I think I think you need to just go, because I feel like you're ready to like really get out the gate.
I want you guys to say, I mean, like, you guys, I mean, like, okay, fine. Obviously, we've covered this saga extensively over the last couple years. So here's what I want to do this time. Usually I get on here and I just yell at everybody. This is the backbone of this industry. Everyone's fucking stupid. Y'all don't know what you're talking about. Okay. I'm going to be sincere this time. I'm going to try my best not to be an asshole. And I want to speak directly to the people who somehow got it in their head that console exclusives are bad or at worst anti-consumer. Because I know some of you listen to the show and you feel that way. I know you're out there. Here's what I want you to do. Go look at the top rated games of all time. Look wherever you want. Metacritic, doesn't matter. You're going to largely find console exclusives in that list, and that is not a coincidence. It's not. Making console exclusives is how you make the best games. Period. That's it. That's always been true, and that will always be true. Nintendo has done it their entire existence and will continue to do so. And no, Nintendo is not different or exotic. They're just doing the thing that makes the best games. That's why they continue to do it. Final Fantasy VII doesn't happen if Square has to worry about the Sega Saturn. Or The Last of Us, a game I don't even fucking like. That doesn't happen if you have to worry about the Xbox 360. There's a million other examples out there. I could talk about this forever. But maybe, just maybe, because of this news, from here on out, maybe we can stop parroting the incredibly wrong statement that console exclusives somehow suck or they're bad for people, because everything you love doesn't exist without them. Learn what you're actually saying and come back with a better opinion. Please, maybe. That's it. That's all I got to say.
I don't disagree with any of that. I guess I'm curious based on okay, so what is your if you were given the keys to Microsoft, like what is the strategy? Because I feel like their default is to pivot back into we need to fucking bring Gears and Halo and Forza and Fable back to really be our those are our big exclusives and those fucking run the show.
I've probably said this on this show before, but I think since I brought this up again, it bears repeating. Kevin, if they come out with an Xbox and they're like, hey, we're sorry, we get it. Guess what? Our new console is coming out in 2027. It's going to launch with Fallout 5 exclusively on this console. And next year in 2028, we're going to have Elder Scrolls 6 exclusively on Xbox, Nextbox, whatever it's called. Guess what? I'm buying a fucking Xbox. You got me. That's all you got to do.
You would be in based on that alone?
Yes.
Wow.
That's all you got to do.
Here's the problem with that, though. They would fuck that up instantly by having and PC in parentheses.
If they want a successful brand again, they can't do that. Promise PC later.
Man, you think the like PC portion of that is a deal breaker? Because I do feel like that's a different. And I'm not saying it's not related. I feel like that's a different conversation than putting shit on PlayStation.
I think it used to be a different conversation. I think over the course of this generation, it is no longer a different conversation. I think my mind has changed on that. I think that used to be very separate, and they are no longer so separate.
We also both played PC games today, Kevin.
Yeah, no, I know. I just think in like, I guess in the grand, I don't know. Now maybe I'm even second guessing myself. Like, I do think in the grand scheme of things, for most people, right? Like if you're doing PC gaming, you're probably really doing PC gaming. And in most cases, if there's a PC in the home, it's probably not really used for gaming. It's probably not capable of gaming, especially for families, people with kids. The home console would be intended as the place to game. But that, I think that it also really like muddies the waters when everything is an Xbox, right? And not, not just that, but there are like so many other options to PC game now if you want, where you really like don't need a heavy duty, it's not going to be as good of an experience, but like Game Pass, cloud streaming is still a thing. The getting rid of the marketing doesn't get rid of it. Like Nvidia has that thing where you can like play on essentially any device and like run their GPUs on their servers. And I think that, like proliferation is going to just continue. So maybe that like that in itself makes it messy. I don't know.
I don't think it makes it messy for Xbox if they want to play ball. If they don't want to play ball, if they want to continue this, like your PC is also an Xbox. And I mean, look, we saw that thing a couple months ago where they ended as soon as Sarah Bond got jettisoned out of there. They ended that this is an Xbox campaign. I mean, it was her baby. You know, they ended that immediately just because, you know, that's something she came up with. And it's like they wanted to get us, that was so widely mocked by everyone. They wanted to get as far away from that as possible. So if this team is also, like I said, they're looking at the 360 era and it's like, what did we do right here? Why can't we do that now? I think they're very conscious about this. If they really want to restore that Xbox brand and they're looking to do it, they can't fuck around. And
Maybe
they can't get into this
here, but I also don't. So sorry.
No, I was just going to say they can't be releasing this like hybrid PC fucking Xbox thing. That's not it. That's not it. That's not going to be it. You have to release a Xbox if they really want to restore that.
And you think that strategy is going to shift as well?
Because it really sounds like that Helix thing is the everything box.
I don't necessarily think it's going to shift. I'm just saying that, like, if they want this, they can have it. If they're really serious about it, they have the tools, they have the firepower to do it. And like I said, I don't think you start looking back at the 360 and being like, let's try to recapture something here if you're not serious about it. I think at no point during the Xbone or Series X/S era did they ever think about that kind of stuff. It was all Game Pass, world exclusive. Like, you know, that's all they had. And for what? I mean, we got some good stuff, but also yikes. So I don't know, man.
I'm curious too. Do you guys think that, like, you know, just talking about like potentially striking while the iron's hot? Because I don't know, I don't have anything like real strong to base this on. I feel like in general the vibe is moving towards customer confidence in the PlayStation brand is like steadily declining over the past few years. Am I?
Yes, it is.
Alone in thinking that? Like,
no, it is.
So
they don't have the game. They haven't produced the games. They haven't. They've been trying to get out from the Jim Ryan thing forever. They had to cancel everything. They haven't put out shit. They haven't given a reason people to buy this console unless their PS4 breaks or they want to play GTA 6. That isn't even out yet. Yeah. So it's like, for the common person, that's all that fucking matters. And they shouldn't care about anything else. I don't even blame them. Why should they?
And the common person is not going to want to pay $1,000 plus for a new system.
I can tell you this right now. If my PS5 breaks, I ain't replacing that shit. I am not paying $650 for a base PS5. I'm certainly not paying $900 for a PS5 Pro. I'm not doing it. I refuse. I'm not paying $650 for a 6-year-old console. Fuck off.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't replace mine either.
Nuh-uh. I mean, I was late to the party, but still not.
So if we're the capital G gamers, if we're the enthusiasts and we're saying no, what are they saying? You know? I don't know. Okay, we have Place Your Bets coming up. Man, we talked a lot already on this show, but we're going to do Place Your Bets and get out of here. But before Place Your Bets, I want to tell you guys a little story that happened to me a couple weeks ago. I think exactly 2 weeks ago now. So I went to McDonald's, as one does, because I wanted to have that K-pop Demon Hunters meal. You guys see that shit? Where it's like it comes in like the box and you get like 10 nuggets and like you get these fries with like a little shaker bag of like ramyun seasoning and shit. Did you guys see this?
I did.
I don't know if we have that.
I did see this and I didn't get one, but I'm going to ask, did you get your soda pop?
I got my little soda pop. Yes, I got it. Of course, a McDonald's Sprite. Gotta have it. And it came with like the nuggets came with like this purple demon sauce. I'm kind of weird about like sauces. I hate it like the colored ketchup era. It's like, here's green ketchup or purple ketchup. That shit grosses me out. I get it's just ketchup with food coloring, but just visually it fucks me up. This sauce was good, but I couldn't really look at myself dunking it more than like once or twice because I was just like, it's purple, and I ate as much as I could. But yeah, nice little meal, good presentation. So that's what I went there to get. But while I was waiting for my order, I went to the bathroom. I had to pee. So I went to the bathroom. This bathroom has like just one urinal, one stall, and like a sink. It's like a small bathroom. So I'm at the urinal. This guy walks in 5 seconds after me. He sees I'm at the urinal, which he obviously wants to use. So instead of going around me and going to the stall to go pee, he stands there and watches me pee the entire time. So there's like a little short wall between like the urinal and the sink, but if you're standing off in the corner, like where he was standing, there's no, you're just watching someone pee.
Mm-hmm.
He stood there and watched me pee.
What was this guy's profile?
He was kind of young. I would say in those like mid-20s, kind of like shoulder length hair, kind of skinny, white dude. I don't know. Basic looking guy.
Was the stall available?
Yes, it was available. Nobody else was in there but me until he came in.
Is this guy clean cut? Is this guy greasy looking?
No. Look like a young, fresh-faced kid.
Too clean cut?
No, I mean, he looked fine. No, but like, here's the thing. He could have just like, if he really wanted to wait for the urinal, he could have like played on his phone or like stared at the wall or did something else. No, he like literally he didn't have to look at me peeing. He did that on purpose.
He's trying to pressure you.
Yeah.
You know what this is? It's payback for all the times you've come in on Discords, ours, and Super Goat Pods and going, oh, I like talking in the bathroom. It's a great activity.
Then fucking talk to me, dude. Don't just stand there and watch me pee. Say something to me. If you want to talk.
You've also like, I've seen you post multiple pictures of you pissing. And to be fair, maybe there's a chance he had saw that and he was a fan and he was like, whoa, in real life.
Just because my banner profile on Blue Sky is me peeing into a river doesn't mean you can just come to McDonald's and watch me pee. Okay? That's different.
That's a public space. Not that I care to watch you pee, but
like the angle matters, and I get that. But
yeah, no, like this was like full view. I mean, I just don't know why he didn't like. He just looked like I said. We all have a smartphone nowadays. Look at your phone, send a couple texts. I'm waiting for this guy to finish peeing. Haha. I don't know. Do something. Don't just literally just stare at me and watch me pee. That's weird. That makes it
I wouldn't
weird.
Fucking like that either.
I didn't say anything, obviously. I just zipped. I mean, I waited. I mean, obviously, I finished peeing. I went to the sink and washed my hands, and then he went to the urinal and started peeing. I should have stared back at him. That's what I did. I should have, like, after I washed my hands, I should have stood there and watched him pee.
Did you guys make eye contact when you turned around?
No, I didn't look at him at all. But, you know, like, you can tell. I mean, you can tell when someone's looking at you. You know what I mean? I didn't look directly at him.
You really think famous serial peer Andre would make eye contact with with the plebs or his assailants in the real world, Kevin?
I mean, it would have established a sense of dominance if you did. I'm just saying, I'm not judging you for not, because I don't know that I would have made the eye contact either, but it was on the table as an option.
If he had talked to me, if he had said something, then I would have made eye contact and said something back to him then. But he didn't. He didn't say a word. He just stood there and watched me pee like a creep.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't like it either. I get it.
It was weird. It was weird. Okay, yeah. Anyway, yeah. I'm sorry. I just wanted to put that out in the world. Don't be weird, okay? All I'm saying is, if you're gonna watch me pee, talk to me. That's all. Don't just stand there silently and watch me pee. Okay? You can only watch me pee if you say something.
How do I follow that up with place your bets? I feel like
just here. I'll play this sounder. Now it's better. We are separated from the pee.
Okay. All right. I've entirely forgot about this like averagely clean cut man staring at you with your wiener in your hand. All right.
Sure it is.
We're gonna do place your bets. If anybody hasn't heard this before, just a quick recap of what we're doing here. When we started the show, we each started off with a pool of money. I think we started out with 1,000 each, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so every quarter we have some possible circumstances that we can place bets on to see where we wind up with our video game knowledge, I guess. And so as of right now, Andre is currently in the lead with $1,100. I am sitting at $975, and Steve is sitting at $520. So we've got our Q4 2025 bets to wrap up. Steve's bet was by the end of March 2026 that Metroid Prime 4 is the best-selling Metroid game in the franchise by this point, the current highest seller being the original Prime at 4.2 million. Now, the latest and greatest I could find on this was just still as of early February, where, Metroid Prime 4's combined sales have surpassed 1 million, Nintendo confirmed. So I don't have up-to-date information as of the end of March. However, if we can all agree, I feel like it's fair to assume that since early February, it likely hasn't sold 3.2 million copies.
Definitely not.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we can call that one a loss.
Yeah, so Steve put $21 on that at 3-1 odds, and we are going to chalk that one up as a lose. Andre had Nintendo announces a different color scheme or special edition Joy-Cons, Andre's choice for franchise or color scheme, and chose white and put $50 on 4-1 odds. Then the subsequent show made unfounded accusations at me that he didn't understand the bet, which were not legitimate, because he could have just not put money on it, and accused me of like forcing him to put $50 on, which I did not.
I felt forced.
Well, you just lost $50, my friend.
Well, also, I should say, and I probably said this at the time as well, when they showed whatever color that they showed, they're only doing like the rails. I thought they were going to do the entire Joy-Con. That's why I picked white. If I thought it was just going to be the rails, I would have picked a different color. I wouldn't have said white. Yeah, but that's neither here nor there now.
That's fair. I mean, that kind of sucks that they didn't just do the whole fucking Joy-Con too, but
yeah.
And myself being the third loser, I had that Wario, quick. Does this justify a spoiler alert talking about if Wario was in the Mario Galaxy movie?
I don't think so. I mean,
guess if you really want to find out, skip ahead 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Wario was not in the Mario Galaxy movie, and I put $25 on 2-1 odds, which I really felt confident in that.
Me too.
Yeah.
So all right. I'm out $25. Q1 of 2026, we had a Splatoon Raiders section of bets, which we have until we kind of, I think, decided, usually these would go until middle of the year, but if we don't happen to know about Splatoon Raiders past that, we'll just kind of push that beyond. Steve put $50 on 2-1 odds of Splatoon Raiders being a roguelike. Andre put $100 on 2-1 odds of Splatoon Raiders being a $40 to $50 game, and I put $150 on 2-1 odds that it has a vehicle building or crafting element. And those were all based on a discussion we had before we made those bets. We just were talking about Splatoon Raiders, and that's kind of what. So we had to put our money where our mouth is a little bit.
Yeah. And
I've got a new round of bets for us for Q2 of this year.
Okay.
Steve, we that PlayStation handheld, it seems like it's really getting traction. So I'm going to give you 2-1 odds that PlayStation handheld is officially unveiled with a release date before the end of September. I feel like 2-1 odds is possibly even generous for that.
Nope, not taking it.
Ooh.
Really?
Why not?
I just feel like releasing new handhelds is poison right now.
I think it's safer than releasing a new console. Not that means a whole fuck of a lot, but
even the Portal jumped up in price, so I just don't see it, Kevin.
Okay.
I just feel like the rumors have been so vigorous about that. I'm just, if it were me, I bet you I would have put at least $100 on 2-1 odds for that.
Zero.
I gotta be real.
Okay.
I have not heard the rumors about this. To be honest, have I forgotten? I don't know. I don't remember hearing about this.
This for the last few months. I feel like this is regularly coming up as a very likely thing.
Okay. And it's not like a PlayStation Portal or something. I mean, like an actual.
This is
handheld.
some sort of runs PS5 natively type PlayStation handheld.
Ooh, that would be fucking sick. Okay, I got to start looking into that.
Okay. You get your own handheld, so I'm going to give you 3-1 odds. Steam Deck 2 is officially unveiled with a release date before the end of September.
Oh my god. That's tough.
They can't even get the Gabe cubes out.
I want to make a real slight adjustment. I'm going to give you with the release date / release window.
Okay.
Before the end of September. I just kind of given it seems like PC parts are so dynamic these days, they might not want to commit to anything hard.
How much money do I have right now?
You have $1,050 after losing your $50 on the Joy-Cons.
I think I should at least throw 50 at this. I'm not super confident, right? But I think I should throw some money at this. I don't dislike it enough to say 0. How about, let's do, you said 2-1, right?
3-1.
3-1, man. Oh, it's more tempting now. Okay, I'll do $50.
Okay.
All right, $50. Lock it in.
All right. For myself, for you guys to give me odds on, and I don't know that this is something I'm feeling even confident on. GTA 6 getting pushed back yet again from its November release date.
Steve, I don't think so.
They can't do it anymore.
I don't think so, huh?
They can't do it anymore.
I cannot envision a world where that gets pushed to 2027. So I'm willing to give Kevin something pretty high. I don't think that's happening at all. I'm willing to say 5-1.
I'd almost say 7-1, but if you want to say 5.
What's meet in the middle? 6-1.
6-1, Kevin.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I think 3-1, 4-1. I probably would have been out 6-1. Because I agree. I think it's. The 6-1 odds are juicy.
Yeah.
Even if it's broken, they gotta put it out.
Yeah.
And
even
I've
if
got
it sucks, they'll fix it later.
$950. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling spendy. This is more money than I've had in a long time. Okay, I'm going to put $50 on it just because the odds are juicy enough.
We're locking it in?
All right, I'm locking it in. Okay, so super quick recap. Steve wouldn't bite on the PlayStation handheld with release date before end of September. Andre's got $50 on Steam Deck 2, unveiled with release date / window before end of September. And I've got $50 on 6-1 for GTA 6 getting pushed back yet again.
I would love for the Steam Deck 2 to be true. See, it's kind of wish fulfillment for me. I would love for them to do that right now, but that's like Steve said with parts. But
if I heard more buzz about this handheld, I don't know what subreddits Kevin keeps lurking in. But,
I feel like that's been a pretty frequent thing. I'm surprised that this. I thought this was commonplace news-ish.
Yeah, I'm kind of blindsided by that. But yeah, I'll have to do some research into this mythical PlayStation handheld. Well, guys, thanks for joining us for this big deal. We yapped a lot. Damn, we talked a lot of video games. How about that?
We missed you guys.
We missed everybody. We're back, baby. Check the description of this podcast per usual to find our names on social media. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
You've been listening